Nigeria. It's a country that gets people talking. From the halls of power in Washington to the bustling streets of Beijing, Nigeria is on everyone's mind. Now you might be thinking, why all the fuss about one country in Africa? Well, my friends, Nigeria is no ordinary nation. It's a giant, both literally and figuratively. We're talking about the most populous nation in Africa. We're talking about a cultural powerhouse. And let's not forget, we're talking about a country with vast natural resources. Put it all together, and you've got a recipe for global significance. But here's the thing. Nigeria's story isn't just about its size or its resources. It's about potential. It's about the promise of what this nation can become. And that promise, my friends, is what keeps the superpowers watching, waiting, and wondering. Because when Nigeria makes a move, the world feels the ripple. That's why understanding Nigeria is like understanding the future. It's complex, it's exciting, and it's a story that's still being written. So, what exactly makes Nigeria so magnetic to the rest of the world? Let's start with the obvious, economics. Nigeria is an economic powerhouse in Africa. It's got oil, and lots of it. We're talking about being one of the world's top oil producers. But it's not just about the black gold, baby. Nigeria's got a young and vibrant population. That's a massive consumer market that businesses all over the world are dying to tap into. From tech giants to fashion brands, everyone wants a piece of the Nigerian pie. And then there's the political side of things. Nigeria is a key player in West Africa and on the whole continent. When Nigeria speaks, other African nations listen. That gives Nigeria a lot of sway in regional and international affairs. Countries like the US, China, and the UK know this. They see Nigeria as a valuable partner, but also as a potential rival. It's a delicate dance, my friends. Everyone's trying to woo Nigeria to get them on their side. Because in the game of global politics, Nigeria holds a lot of cards. Let's be real, folks. When superpowers like the US, UK, China, and France are paying attention, it's not always because they're feeling charitable. They have their own interests, and Nigeria often finds itself at the center of them. The US, for example, sees Nigeria as a key partner in the fight against terrorism. Boko Haram, anyone? They're also interested in maintaining their economic influence in Africa, and Nigeria is a big part of that equation. China, on the other hand, is all about that infrastructure game. They're pouring billions into building roads, bridges, and ports across Africa, and Nigeria is a prime target for these investments. It's all part of China's grand plan to become the world's leading economic power. And then there's the UK and France, former colonial powers who still have strong ties to their former colonies in Africa. They're trying to maintain their influence in the region, often through trade deals and aid packages. But here's the thing. Nigeria isn't just sitting back and letting these superpowers call all the shots. They're playing the field, negotiating deals, and trying to get the best for themselves. It's a high-stakes game, and Nigeria is learning to play it like a pro. Section 4. Trials within, eyes from afar, internal challenges, and global scrutiny. Now, for all its potential, Nigeria isn't without its problems. In fact, it's got a whole laundry list of them. Corruption, poverty, ethnic tensions, insecurity, you name it, Nigeria's probably dealing with it. And these internal challenges don't go unnoticed by the international community. Organizations like the IMF and Amnesty International are constantly watching, reporting, and sometimes criticizing Nigeria's handling of these issues. The IMF, being the money guys, are always worried about Nigeria's economic stability. They're quick to offer advice, and sometimes even loans, but often with strings attached. Amnesty International, on the other hand, is focused on human rights. They call out Nigeria on issues like police brutality, extrajudicial killings, and the government's handling of the Boko Haram insurgency. This constant scrutiny can be frustrating for Nigerians, but it's also a reminder that the world is watching. When you're a country with as much potential and global importance as Nigeria, the spotlight is never really off. Section 5. Investing in hope, the Nigerian diaspora's enduring faith. Here's something that might surprise you. Nigerians abroad send billions of dollars back home every year. We're talking about remittances, people working hard and sending money to support their families. Now you might be thinking, why send money to a country with so many problems? Why not just cut ties and move on? Well, it's not that simple. You see, Nigerians are a resilient bunch. They haven't given up on their country. They believe in its potential, even when it seems like the rest of the world is losing faith. These remittances are more than just money. They're a lifeline for many families, helping to put food on the table and kids through school. But they're also a sign of hope. They're a vote of confidence in Nigeria's future. The Nigerian diaspora is a powerful force. They're entrepreneurs, doctors, lawyers, engineers, making their mark all over the world. But they haven't forgotten where they came from. They're still invested in Nigeria's success, and they're willing to put their money where their heart is. Section 6. A bridge between world's Nigeria's unique position in the Middle East. Now let's talk about the Middle East for a second. You might be wondering what Nigeria has to do with that part of the world. Well, it might surprise you to learn that Nigeria has a significant Muslim population. In fact, it's one of the largest Muslim populations in Africa. And that, my friends, makes Nigeria a country of interest to both Iran and Saudi Arabia, the two heavyweights of the Muslim world. They see Nigeria as a key battleground for influence in Africa. Iran, with its revolutionary zeal, is trying to export its brand of Islamic Republic to other parts of the world. They see Nigeria's large Shia Muslim population as fertile ground for their message. Saudi Arabia, on the other hand, is all about promoting its own more conservative brand of Islam. They're pouring money into building mosques and Islamic schools in Nigeria, hoping to counter Iranian influence. Nigeria, for its part, is trying to navigate this delicate balancing act. They don't want to be drawn into a proxy war between Iran and Saudi Arabia. They're trying to maintain good relations with both countries, while also charting their own course.